Howdy, y'all. Joe Hills here, recording as I was due in Nashville, Tennessee, and I'd like to welcome you to my new series, Minecraft Morning Musings. Today, I'm sailing eastward in a custom map I commissioned Vechs to design for me, and we're going to open the series by exploring the first chapter of the Dao de Jing by Lao Tzu. The Dao de Jing was written over 2,500 years ago, and is still in print in a ton of different translations. You know, it's in Hebrew, it's in Russian, it's in, Japanese, it's in whatever Tibetans speak, probably Tibetan. Some of these translations are available in the public domain. Those are going to be the ones I focus on because I can use them without fear of legal problems. And as a subset of those translations available in the public domain, I'm probably going to focus on the English language ones, because English is the only language in which I am truly fluent. So, let's begin. Here's the first 4 lines from John H. McDonald's public domain translation of Chapter 1 of the Dao de Jing. The Dao that can be described is not the eternal Dao. The name that can be spoken is not the eternal name. So let's think a little bit about that, about the speakable Dao not being the eternal Dao. The way I see it is, it's kind of like, let's say you have a friend named Vechs, and you know all about Vechs, and Vechs is great, and so you want to explain Vechs to another friend. And you might talk about how Vechs looks, how he acts, what he creates, but your description can never fully encompass who Vechs is as a person. You hit this encompassmental limitation not only because speech is limited, not only because speech is incapable of conveying your knowledge fully, but also because you're incapable of having full knowledge of your friend. And now, if you just think about that, like, how you can never fully know someone else, no matter how well you think you know them, well, what can you convey fully? What can you know fully to even be able to convey well? And, yourself, strangers, abstract philosophical concepts. Well, the way Lao Tzu kind of addresses or opens the Dao de Jing is by striking down any sort of preconception that any given all-encompassing philosophy should be, completely understandable or communicable, in general. So, the next 2 lines that Lao Tzu proceeds to assert are, "The nameless is the boundary of heaven and earth. The named is the mother of creation." And when I reflect on the phrase, the boundary of heaven and earth, my mind envisions a horizon. I don't know, for some reason it just goes to horizon. There's just something that keeps popping back to that. And horizons are kind of funny because they aren't real. The horizon itself is an incidental construct at the edge of vision, beyond which all is unseeable without further action or motion. And as you journey, what's seeable and unseeable changes, what is knowable and unknowable changes, and I kind of see it as much like the horizon. The nameless exists only as we perceive the meeting of concepts we do not understand. We can't see the nameless, we can't name the nameless, but we can see things that hint at it. If the nameless were a tesseract, or the nameless were a hypercube, we might see it as a tesseract, which is a 3-dimensional representation of a 4-dimensional object. Now, another translator, whose work is now in the public domain, James Legge, interpreted these same verses back in 1891. There's a little bit of a difference there in terms of, dress, attitude, weather. Wonderful. Well, so let's see what James Legge has to say. "Conceived of as having no name, it is the originator of heaven and earth. Conceived of as having a name, it is the mother of all things." Now, Legge's translation asserts the dual nature of the Dao more clearly than McDonald's, by stating plainly that the Dao is comprised of both the named and the nameless. Now, interestingly, Legge attributes the origination of heaven and earth to the nameless, where McDonald attributes only the delineation of the two. Even so, when I think back to creation stories, a lot of them have the separation of earth from sky or sea from sky as the creation of both. And I'm content to let you argue amongst yourselves about that if you have strong feelings one way or the other. And you know what? I don't want to go too far in one episode, so we've covered the first half of the first chapter of the Dao de Jing by Lao Tzu, and in my next video, I'll wrap up chapter 1 of the Dao de Jing. I'll give you a quick teaser with the following lines from McDonald's translation. Freed from desire, you can see the hidden mystery. By having desire, you can only see what is visibly real. Yet mystery and reality emerge from the same sources. This source is called darkness. Darkness, born from darkness, the beginning of all understanding. So if you want to see what I think about those lines, I encourage you to tune in again tomorrow. And since this is a brand new series, I'd really appreciate it if you could click the little thumbs up or thumbs down buttons. I don't really care if you like it or dislike it. Well, I mean, I do. I will not be offended if you dislike it. I want honest opinions. I want informed opinions. Feel free to post comments, leave me feedback. If you have friends that you think are a little weird and you think this video is a little weird, feel free to tell your weird friends about my weird video. Because I'm on a boat and it's raining and I'm talking about philosophy. And so yeah, that's pretty much how this show is going to go. I'm going to pick something. I'm going to talk about it for a little while. I'll pick something else, talk about that for a little while. Just kind of, here's what goes on in my head when I'm not being attacked by zombies and creepers and, you know, all that. So, anyway, until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring. I'm intentionally not talking for this part so you can meditate on what I said earlier, or just discard it outright as being dumb.